Hi, my name is James Osmar, and today I'm going to talk about blogging, and it's the number 9 of all important things that you can get in a top 10 real estate website. And so to continue in that series, we're going to discuss blogging for real estate. And I thought, what better place could we talk about real estate than an old set of ruins in Mexico? This is called Ixcambo, and it's spelt and starts with an X, and X in Mexico, at least, is pronounced ish. In any event, I want to talk about the 3 most important things at first as to why you should be blogging. And the reasons are quite obvious in some respects and not obvious in others. For example, the purpose of your blog would be to get people to come to your website in real estate. If you're writing articles of interest, and that's what they should be, as articles of interest, not a sales pitch, that's for the rest of your website, then the number 1 reason is to get people by grabbing what they are interested in. And if they are interested in what it is that you're talking about, they're more likely going to click on that link and go to your website to read that article. The other reason that you're going to want to blog is for SEO purposes. That's search engine optimization. Believe it or not, it is a lot easier to optimize a blog article than it is your website. And your website then, by virtue of the fact that it's so busy with all this other stuff, ends up lowered in the rankings of Google. And the other bad thing about search engine optimization for your website is a lot of people, as soon as they see the realtor, they run. Now, when you consider articles of interest, an article of interest being important, why is it important? Is how do you keep in touch with your long-term list? Like, consider that. If your list is consisting of people who purchased a home from you and they don't buy a house for 7 years, how do you keep in touch with that person and keep them engaged for 7 years? Not easy, is it? If you want to consider why a reasonable argument would be put forth for using articles of interest to captivate your audience, to build your list from scratch, from new, but to keep in touch with your old list, those people who bought and sold a house with you that aren't going to be back for 7 years, how do you keep in touch with them? How do you engage them? You have to use articles of interest. And if you think about it, for every 100 people, if a person doesn't move for 7 years, that's 14 people for every 100 people, not counting double ends or referrals. So this is a very valuable marketing strategy when properly understood. And how do you get your articles to rank? That's easy. It's really easy. When I talk about SEO purposes, it's going to start with a title. And you want the keywords of whatever it is that you're trying to attract to. If you're trying to attract, for example, yellow submarines, well, then yellow submarines should be in the title. And then you're going to have what is called meta tag titles. And this is what Google looks at. So they want to gather all the information that they can to reward you, to put you to page 1. And this stuff works, by the way. I mean, if you want to go to managed internet leads, you'll see that I own that page. I'm ahead of Forbes magazine often on that page. And I haven't blogged for that keyword set in ages and ages. So if you're going to do this and you want to rank your videos, and you should want to rank your videos, you find out the keywords where you feel that would best help you in your business and start ranking for those keywords. So you start with the title, and that's the title that everybody sees. Then you have a meta tag title, and that meta tag title is the title that you're going to have that makes sense to Google, using different words than the actual title that the public see. Then you're going to have what is called a slug, and that's in your URL. That's when you type in a name, your domain name, and they see that URL. Well, you want your keywords to be in that URL. So this is all very easy, and as I say, you'll rank your video far easier, your blog, and as a matter of fact, videos are easier to rank. As you can see out here, it's windy today in Mexico, so I'm dealing with a little bit of a hair issue. I have to get back to Canada so I can get a haircut. But in a long and short of it is, blogging is a critical part of your business. Now you have to make a decision about on-site blogging and off-site blogging. I prefer now to work with an on-site blog. That is a blog that is built into your website, such as the advanced website. The reason being is that when you're using your blog articles to attract people, and you're sharing them on Facebook, which is part of your marketing strategy, or emailing them to your list, when people click on a little snippet of words that explain the article of interest to them, well then they're going to click on that and land on your website where you're going to be able to pick up a banner ad tag. And now that banner ad tag, by virtue of them visiting your website, is going to have your banner ads follow them all over the internet, wherever they go. So 3 times a day you start popping up. Now you're in their life. Every time they come back to your website, that tag resets for 18 months. So it's a beautiful strategy. Every time you share on Facebook, you have this nice big picture that shares on Facebook. We built in features to the blogging aspect of this website that you can have a nice little thumbnail picture, or you can have yourself a great big picture. You can organize them by categories. So if you're one of these agents, and I've seen many agents do this, it'll have 48 things to do, or 52 things to do, or 12 things to do in such and such a marketplace, your city, of course. So when somebody who is interested in the things to do in your marketplace, they can visit your blog and click on category and then see all of the things that you put together for them. So there's many things here that you're going to find valuable with blogging. Now, to continue just briefly on keywording, you also have alt tags. And when you upload a photo, believe it or not, Google reads the photo. So you want to put your keywords into your photo even. If you do that, it's magic. And then finally, there's videos. Now I have a whole entire other training put together on video and how to rank your videos. And it's powerful. As I say, go to Managed Internet Leads and you will see clearly how I dominate that pace. Often out of 10 organic postings, I will have 7 of them. So this stuff really works. So I'm sharing this with you as a part of the value that's built into blogging, even though it was only ranked number 9 of the 10 most important. I believe it is one of the most important. Number 10, as you may remember, was your CRM. We're going to have to redo that video in the CRM because we've added some massive big features into the CRM that are going to, well, they'll blow you away, and I won't cover them here because it gets off track to this video. Now, a couple other great sharing features, and you might notice that I've changed backdrops here, and a couple sharing features that I forgot to mention is one, not just sharing on Facebook, but using your pixel. You can take a pixel and advertise your marketing, your blog article for marketing purposes. If you find people that are going to be interested in what it is that you have to say, especially if you're running a long series, this is going to do you wonders for attracting more people. So you have also the fact that you can run a banner ad series to relate to the one article series that you're doing. So everybody that goes to that blog article and touches that blog article, now if you're running a series on your city of 48 or 52 or whatever, and I've seen people do a lot. I've seen them now. I know Dawn Setter out in Victoria or Vancouver Island is doing 150 things to do. So that's a really ambitious series that she could be using banner ads and pixels on Facebook to drive traffic to her website. And how do you find articles? If you're just looking randomly around the internet, you're going to find articles. So I always recommend for people to go and build a file on your email, build a file in your browser, and when you see very interesting articles that you find fascinating, save them. Then, of course, there's writing your own articles. You can write your own articles if you're a good writer, and you can use a tool called Grammarly that will fix you up and literally it'll score you up to 98, 99, 100% so that you're always going to look like you know what you're talking about. And if you're going to write your own articles and you don't want to do all of the work and all of the typing, you can hire an offshore person from the Philippines and just record what it is that you have on your mind and then have them clean that up for you. So that's, I think, really a cool idea, and probably the one that I would recommend for most people if you're not into writing your own. That and saving articles from all over the internet. I used to check out of my Hotmail account years ago, and there was always a real estate article there. And some of them would have 7 or 8 points, and you could turn each point into a new article. So there's lots of ways to get content for your website. The other, of course, is that you can go to your real estate board. Your real estate board will always have articles. And the key thing to remember is to not make this a sales pitch thing. The rest of your website's a sales pitch. This is to keep people engaged in your website for a long time. The other thing you can do is to Google your area. Google your area for whatever it is. If you're in Toronto, Google Toronto real estate in Toronto. You can find your town, London, Ontario real estate, and put London, Ontario real estate articles or Victoria, British Columbia real estate articles, and you'll find all kinds of stuff. They'll just start following out of the sky. And then when you get a good magazine or a good article, you copy it and just give credit to the person who wrote your article. They're going to be happy that you're sharing their word. I mean, it wouldn't bother you if somebody shared your word and gave you credit, would it? Now, there is a bit of a trick to copying and pasting your articles too. You're going to take your article, copy and paste that article. The trick is that you want to copy it to Notepad, because if you're taking an article from an HTML sourced article that is on the internet, back and behind that there's HTML coding. I know that's geek talk, but don't worry about it. Just know that you can open up a Notepad on your computer. It's called Notepad on mine anyway. I have a Mac. It might be different on yours. Copy it, paste it. Now it strips out all of that unwanted coding that's behind the scenes that you don't see, so that when you write your article then will look and appear proper. And that's one of the most important tricks that I can teach about copying and pasting articles. And of course, the other thing that you want to do is always add a photo or a video. Because if you go to Facebook to share, you can share this wonderful big-looking photo that's going to be eye-capturing, an eye-capturing, appealing article is going to be one of the things that's going to draw that person into your web. And in real estate, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that blogging is very underrated. Because if you can find people that are interested in what it is that you find interesting, you're going to have a natural following. Again, my name is James Osmar from Selling Tools, and this is part of the top 10 features of a top 10 website series. And I hope to see you soon in the next video.